the last mile. The conversations were very strong, and I'm sure yesterday you picked quite a lot from the breakout sessions. Today, we are going to look at more about collaborations. Part of the conversations we had yesterday had a little bit of collaboration elements, but today we are going to have quite unique ones. And from the National Renewable Energy Program perspective, we are going to listen to Dr. Nicholas, who happens to be a strong person when it gets to renewable energy. I have known him now, this is my third year. Very vibrant about renewable energy. And he represents Dr. Brian Isabide, who cannot be here because of competing priorities. And he's going to look at embracing collaboration among renewable energy platform. So if you're one of those who actually love this, kindly, I want to request you to be very attentive. And thereafter, we shall have a Q&A, and then we shall have a break. But for now, let me request we all stand up. Let's first stand up, all of us, just a bit. Let's stand up, Kwanzaa. Let's stand up. People a little bit, you know, a little bit down. Let's first stand up. Let's first stand up. Stretch your legs, stretch your arms, stretch your arms. Just stretch your arms. Stretch your arms, stretch your arms. Turn around, turn around. Let's turn around, turn around, turn around. Okay, turn around again. Keep turning around, keep turning around. Now, high five your neighbor. Just high five your neighbor. Just high five, high five, high five. A hot one. There you go. You can have your seats. That done, I'm sure now your brains and body are ready to receive the data. We're going to be hearing from Dr. Nicholas. Ladies and gentlemen, together with me, let's join our hands and we welcome Dr. Nicholas to take us embracing collaboration. Let's clap for him as he comes. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, my colleague Andrew Chamagero, and the different delegates here, all protocol observed. As highlighted by my colleague, Mr. Andrew Chamagero, I'm Dr. Nicholas Mukisa, doctor for PhD in renewable energies. And I'm representing the National Renewable Energy as a Deputy National Coordinator at the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. I'm glad to be here, and my task is to talk about embracing collaboration among renewable energy platform, the NREP perspective. I'm a person who believes in history, that, because history shapes the future. We have to look at our past as we plan for what is to come ahead. And looking at the space of renewable energy and the different technologies therein, ranging from hydro, solar, wind, geothermal, and the rest. The story of Uganda roots back in 1903, after the incorporation of the Uganda Cotton Company. Uganda Cotton Company was the first to start the discussion on the development of electricity in Uganda. And their dream was to ensure we can have hydropower developed by the year 1910. Unfortunately, they were not able to raise the funds to build a dam, but their plan was to have a dam at Bujagali. In the year around 1911, then the son of the Katikio, Sir Apollo Kagwa, I think most of you are familiar with the monument at the Ministry of Energy, Ignatius Kagwa, the son of the Katikio then, started lobbying for electricity in Uganda, and lobbying for hydro in particular. Unfortunately, it did not come to pass until the year 1948. But we had different stakeholders or different industries running private generators. Some of these hotels are still even existent. We have Equatorio had a generator, we had Silver Springs had a generator. But after the Second World War, the discussion and debate about electricity grew, and in the year 1933, the electricity ordinance was signed. This was to allow private developers to generate and sell. So until 1933, there was no selling of electricity in this country. And after that time, we had the East African Power and Lighting Company bidding and succeeding in the bid to supply electricity. And the initial intention of electricity, colleagues, was to only supply electricity to industries, the industrial hubs, especially those in cotton, tobacco, and the likes, and as well as the army bases, and then the white settlers who were living around the Entebbe, Jinja, and around Kampala. So the grid was made in those areas, and the locals had no chance of ever having electricity. So in the 1948, when the East African Power and Light Company had run bankrupt, UEB, the famous Uganda Electricity Board, was formed. And it began the discussion of the construction of Naluwale Dam, which is the grandfather of electricity in Uganda, if I might say. And the plan was to have it provide about 150 megawatts. And still, the initial and original plan of only providing electricity to the white settlers and industries was still upheld. But at its inauguration in the 1954, they discovered that demand, the local demand in the country was not enough for what is going to be supplied. And UEB was instructed to find market for electricity. So we ended up having to reach out to Kenya to help us take some of the electricity to avoid having dimmed power generated. In the year 1954, when the late Queen Elizabeth came to inaugurate the plant, electricity started to be supplied in the country. And thereafter, the grid began to extend to other areas. That's why you notice from Kampala, then we moved towards Impija and Masaka. And if you look at the grid network, it's always centered around the locality of people because it was mainly looking at settlements. That's the first hydro dam and its establishment in Uganda. Renewable energy has been here for close to, a discussion on renewable energy has been here for close to 120 years, if I start discussing from the point of 1903. However, the sector still lives in a fragmented and divided state. This country prides in a hydropower potential of 4,500 megawatts, solar of 5,000 megawatts, geothermal and biomass, and wind. Unfortunately, the utilization and exploitation of these resources is still wanting. Because if you look at, as a country, we have 1,300 plus megawatts of installed capacity. I suppose the audience here is very familiar with installed capacity and the generating capacity. Installed capacity is what you have, but generating is what you get out of what you have. So basically with 1,300 plus, we can roughly generate 900. But out of the installed of 1,300, hydro accounts for close to 1,200. So look at 1,200 against 4,500 potential we have. It tells you we've literally used less than 30% of that potential, meaning that we still have close to 3,200 to develop as a country. When it comes to solar, we have about, I'm talking about the big capacity installations, the likes of Soloti, the likes of Tororo, Kabulasoke power plants, and the latest Busitema University power plant. We have about 65 megawatts of solar installed to date, out of 5,000 megawatt capacity or target we have for Vision 2040. This tells us that we still have a very long way. We've not even used 6% of the resource, or even what we intend to achieve by 2040. Today we are living in 2023, meaning we have about 17 years to 2040. Are we going to be able to achieve that kind of development in such a short time? We with about, I think we are in about 650 megawatts of potential. We've not
we've not done anything about it. Geothermal, nothing has been done as yet. So the discussion, as I gave the background, today of course hydro, no wonder many people believe hydro is not renewable, because hydro has been here for long. People think it's not part of the renewable. They assume renewables have just come in the 2000